Let's talk about something called the nested if statement. If y is greater than 0, I can have another if statement within an if statement. If y is greater than 100. Let me add this here as well. Okay, take a moment to think, how do you read this? As usual, we read it from top down in an intuitive way. In words, this part means if y is greater than 0, I will do everything between these two curly braces. I will run everything here. So I'll print this, and then I will check if y is greater than 100. If it's true, then I'll do this. So this is useful when you have multiple conditions. So you may want to check condition A, and once that is done, check condition B. If we were to compile and run it, you see, y is greater than 0, y is greater than 100. Both are printed. And of course, we can also use our AND and our OR statements in our if function. We have seen that before in the previous lecture. So let's say if x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 1000, then we print something, hey there, for example. Alright, and as usual, we have seen this before as well, using OR statements. So let's say if x is greater than 0, which is true, or y is less than 100, which is not true. Alright, so in this case, this is true, this is true, this will be printed. In this case, just one of this needs to be true. This is true, even though this is not true, this will be printed. So let's compile and run it. Yep. Hey there is printed. Hey there again is printed. So before we go, I want to talk about two things. One is this curly brace here, this symbol, and second is on tidiness. So the first thing, curly braces, when do we use them and when do we use a normal parenthesis? Essentially, we use curly braces when we do three things. When we write if statements, when we write loops, and when we write functions. So we have not talked about the latter two. Don't worry about it. For now, just know that when you write if statement, it should be followed by a curly brace. The second thing I want to talk about is tidiness. You may notice that I arrange my curly brace in this way. It's always a enter, a tab, and then a curly brace. But there are other ways to do it. In fact, you can have a space here. Or this may not be in line with this. It could be back by 2, this could be forward by 3 space. Doesn't matter. The computer reads it the same way. Some people tend to put their curly brace, the first one here, and the second one here. That's fine as well. Essentially, we just need to be consistent on how we arrange our work so that it is tidy. Imagine if you have 1,000 lines of code, having a inconsistent curly braces will really make you go crazy. It makes it very hard to read. I'll recommend you guys follow my style. One enter and one tab. And the second curly brace is in line with the first one. Why we do that is because first, it's neater. We have a space here on this line. It makes it easy to read. And second, this is the default method that MQL5 uses.